And we're live. What's up, everybody?
Hey. All right. Well, hello and welcome everyone to Business Time Hacks with IFT. Today's topic is going to be communications or communication automations. My name is Ben. I'll be your host. Joining me as always, your other host, my colleague and best friend, Trip Stanford.
What's
Trip, do
up,
you have
Ben?
anything to say to the kids back home?
Yeah, just in the chat today, throw in what you think we should call these live streams
Yes.
because business time hacks is cool and all, but it also could be kind of boring. So if you've got a good idea, throw it in the chat. Let us know. We might start using it. So
Yes,
yeah.
please. We've kind of like never loved any of the names that we've called this live stream. So
Chat GPT called this business time hacks, and we're ready to move on.
yeah, we're ready. Yep. Okay. Well, let's move on to our agenda. So, as always, we're going to talk about who we started this live stream for, why we started this live stream, and who it was designed for. Trip's going to go into some best practices for communication, automations, and communications for your business. It's going to be a bunch of different flavors of communication, right? So we're then going to get into some automations for streamers, communications for streamers, automation communications for one-person agencies. If you're a leader of a small team, perhaps, if you own an online merchandise store, if you're a local business, that type of thing. And then we're going to have some time for questions at the end. Also, there will be someone from the IF team, I believe, that's going to be hanging out in the chat. So don't feel like you have to wait till the end. I'm going to be reminding everybody as well throughout the live stream to get in your questions. And at the very end, as always, we're going to give away to one lucky guest a free year of IF Pro Plus, valued at about $60, I believe. So get your questions in. Stay till the end so you can maybe win a free year of Pro Plus.
Sweet.
All right. So who is this for, right? Our fastest growing user segment right now at IFT is what some people might refer to as a solopreneur or a small business owner.
Mhm.
This could be a birthday clown with a website, a podcaster, a candle maker, a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer. It could even be someone that has their own OnlyFans. Okay. Just anyone that's trying to make money on the internet. Now,
Mhm.
these individuals often have day jobs. They're trying to build something that will allow them to make some money on the side for their family, or perhaps they're trying to build something that's big enough to where they can do that thing full time. And what IF does for these individuals is IF helps them by connecting and automating the tools that they're using every day, which saves them time that they can then reallocate to focus on, more core activities of their business. So, with that said, I will turn it over to you, Trip, to give us a 1,000-foot view of communication best practices.
Yeah. So when you think of communication, it's honestly super broad, but now in the digital age, it is going across all these different mediums. So like you can be communicating through text, through email, I mean, the IF team uses Slack internally, or if you're in like specific, Discord groups or Reddit communities, those are all different forms of communication. And if you take a step back and you start thinking about it, every single message you send every single day is honestly pretty custom, right? So if like my wife is asking me what we need from the grocery store, I custom write a message all the way back to her. And that's just kind of how like I'm starting to think about communication internally, just in my life. But whenever you're thinking about communication from like a business perspective, try and think of what systems are you using, like with your team or just in your own one person business. And then what are those daily messages that you still need to communicate with, team members or clients or your audience? And what is repeatable and consistent and clear? So those are the kind of things I want you to start thinking about when you're thinking about how do I automate communication in my one person business or in my small business. And so, for example, when you're dealing with internal communication, you're probably your team's probably communicating on Slack, email, or Discord. So that's kind of like how I've seen, 90% of businesses, their team is on email, Slack, or Discord. If you're talking with customers, let's say you're a handyman and you're probably texting your customers, or you're a shop, an e-commerce shop, you might send like confirmation texts to your customers. But those are always happening with text, email, and phone calls. And then if you are a streamer, content creator, and you're kind of running your business and building your audience, that's kind of where it expands onto social media. So you might be a Twitch streamer and you really want to send a message to your Discord audience, or a YouTube streamer like what we're doing, going live, and we want to communicate that to our Facebook group. And same thing with blogs. Like if I'm keep publishing blogs, I want to keep writing social media posts to communicate that blog is live to my audience. So I might do a blog RSS feed automation, send it to Reddit, send it to Twitter, send it to Facebook. So as you're thinking through like, what are the pieces of communication that I'm writing every single day? It's always the same. How can I automate that? And we've definitely got, with over 900 tools on IFT, we can definitely automate some of those pieces. So after this, I'm gonna kind of walk through a few different use cases. And then maybe as an audience, you kind of look at, what is my business and what pieces should I start automating in my daily life?
Awesome. Right. Thank you, Trip. All right.
Sweet. So the streamer, we have a huge amount of Twitch streamers on IFT, and they automate all of their, so like when you're a streamer, you're obviously going live at random times, or you might have a consistent time, but your audience could be anywhere, right? And the biggest thing with Twitch streaming is you want as many views as possible early on, because then your live stream, like the more engagement you're getting, it's going to get shared internally on Twitch. Same thing goes on YouTube Live. All these kind of live video platforms are kind of like that. So you want as many people logging on and watching your stream as quick as possible whenever you go live, and then staying on there, right? So one super great applet for that is every time you start a new stream on Twitch, message to Discord. So you're like building your community on Discord, you're interacting with them over the Discord channel, automatically notify that channel whenever you go live. Or same thing with YouTube, automatically share your YouTube video to a Facebook page to try and drive engagement, views, and likes. And that will share that to this new brand aware audience that you want to start attracting. So same thing with Twitter, automatically post on Twitter when you start streaming on Twitch. But yeah, so if you're a content creator or you're even creating content for your business, start trying to think of like, how can I distribute this content as efficiently, quickly as possible to my audience across these different social media channels. All right, next one.
Awesome.
Okay, wait, we actually have a quick question I wanted to show. So Crystal is an executive function coach. I keep people on track until they can do it for themselves. So I need help sending reminders and accountability. Oh, this is a great one. Depending on your tool set, like if you have an iPhone or an Android phones work really well with it because you can send automated text messages. I used to send a morning text message to a buddy to like get a good exercise in that day. That was just me and him. That's kind of how we worked. But yeah, if you're doing, you might say like, connect it with your like project management tool, like Asana, Trello, ClickUp. And every time you move a person into a certain column or bracket in that project management tool, it sends them a message to keep them accountable on whichever stage that they're a part of. So I think that's a really good use case, is kind of managing your users in like a project management tool. And then whenever you move them around or assign them a certain tag, it sends them a message either through email, Slack, text message to kind of keep them accountable on certain traits and abilities that you want to keep them accountable on. But yeah, thanks for that question. All right, so the one-person agency, I used to run a one-person agency a lot. And the biggest thing that I found that was like really beneficial for my agency was whenever I got a lead, like through Facebook ads, Google ads, I communicated that lead to the client as quickly as possible. Because that just proves, one, the money that we're spending on those platforms is working, but it also proves that what I'm doing is working, right? So I highly suggest if you're running Facebook ads, Google ads, try and keep a Google spreadsheet of all those leads somewhere, but then just notify them. Because if they're out, like if you're running the business for like home repairmen, roofers, plumbers, and they're out on jobs all day, but they get a text message saying, oh, I just got a new lead. Like they're physically reminded that you're doing work for them, right? And it's communicating value, if not just a new lead for them to call and get new business. So I think these are really good applets to set up if you are running your own marketing agency.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so next slide. This is still you, I think, Trip.
Yeah, so the team lead. So a lot of people on IFT use IFT to kind of automate communication to their team. They could be a one-person business and they're dealing with consultants, or they might be like a small business and they're dealing with team members that are either out in the field or freelancers. You kind of get the idea. So we have a lot of project management tools on IFT. It's really good to communicate status updates across different platforms, right? So that's why if I add a new card to Trello, so like a new project to work on, I communicate it to Slack to that team member to let them know, hey, you got a new project to work on. This is the next thing you need to do. Same thing, automatically share completed tasks in Trello to Slack to communicate to myself or that team member when things are getting completed. And then the final one, this one's actually, a lot of people love this, is get a morning reminder about your first meeting daily. So you sit up, you log into Slack, boom, you know when your first meeting's, what it is, and you're reminded about it so you can kind of prepare for it. So these are just great like internal team, small business applets that you can kind of try out.
All right. Thank you, Trip. Let's see. Okay, I think this one's me. So I want to take a quick, so for someone that owns an online store, I want to take a quick second on this one to just highlight one of my favorite services on IFT, which is called Webflow. And if you're considering starting an online store where you sell your own merchandise, or as the kids are saying today, your merch, then Webflow is actually a great tool for doing so. Platforms for building and hosting your own website usually come in one of two flavors. They're either no code or they're heavy code, right? So Webflow really offers the best of both worlds for starting an online business, because they have all of the drag and drop capabilities that you would expect from a no code website builder. But when your company starts to grow and you expand and you say, like, maybe you hire a developer, that developer can still access the back end of that website and kind of create some more complex functionality and go beyond what you were able to do, right? So great tool. They're on IFT, which is another reason that we love them. They have really, like, compared to a lot of services on IFT, there's a full suite of endpoints. And when I say endpoints, I mean triggers, queries, and actions available for people to build some really complex, integrated directly to their website automations. And just a couple here. If you look to the far left, this is a trigger that fires every time you add a new product, right? So you've got some hats and you add your first pair of pants as a new product on your Webflow created website, and you can let your audience know, right? You can send that item out and announce that item out on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. You can use like a buffer or a new link to send that to Instagram. And then the next automation or the next trigger is the second one here is new order. So every time someone comes to your website and they make a purchase, you can send them a text message or an email saying, hey, thanks for the purchase. Thanks for being a loyal customer. We're going to get that order to you out to you with great haste. So yeah, these are two really good options for someone that has a Webflow created website.
No, I think these are great. It's just a really good way to, like, instead of publishing that product on your Webflow account and then going and building out all the social media for it, it kind of happens automatically on the front end. And same thing with new order. Whenever I purchase something from a website, I always want to get that confirmation. And there are like third-party apps that you can definitely set that up. But if you're a small, Etsy shop or a small Shopify store, Webflow store, having that personal one-on-one messaging is super valuable. Jeff, you just asked which third-party platform such as Google Docs, Sheets, Coda has developed the most extensive functionality with IFTTT. I'd say Google Suite. So we've got Docs, Sheets, Google Meet. Honestly, yeah, every kind of Google product integrates really well with IFTTT. So you can kind of automate your whole business kind of using Google inside of Google. So I'd say that's probably the best one that we've got live on IFTTT today. And there was one other I wanted to come back to. So Crystal, she does group workshops and record FAQs for clients. So if you're using like Zoom as your kind of live stream, like small group workshop, there's a lot of Zoom integrations with IFTTT. So you can say like, if I have a meeting, notify all of my clients, 15 minutes before the meeting. So that's a good way to kind of communicate to them that this is going live, and they can kind of prepare and, show up on time to your workshop, or create Google Calendar invites whenever I do a Zoom meeting. That's a good way to like communicate to your clients that that meeting exists, right? So yeah, I love this use case.
Awesome. All right. So local business. So Trip, we actually have and shout out to Megan, who is on the marketing team with Trip and I here at IFTTT. Megan found some really good customer testimonials for us for this live stream. And this one comes from Denise Gallegos. And Denise is a freelance marketer, which Trip, I don't know if that's what you called yourself, but in a previous life, that's what you did, right?
Yeah, I was a freelance marketer for sure.
Got it. Okay. So Denise writes in that several of her clients are beauty services who rely on local customers. They rely heavily on Google reviews, and just one unhappy customer can turn off potential customers. They need prompt, professional, and tactical responses to each person who leaves a Google review. I've been able to completely automate this work with IFTTT, AI, and Google My Business integrations. Saves me 2 hours per week, which is awesome. We'd love to hear this, right?
Yeah.
So the applet that she's using, we actually found the applet that she's using, and it's basically what it does is every time, the trigger for this applet is every time there's a Google review for your account, it sends that to IFTTT AI. IFTTT AI generates a response, and then the action is to write that review write that response for that review. So Trip, I actually tested this out. I'm going to go to the next slide. Again, shout out Megan, who I asked
that's a bad review
to write me a 1-star review so that we could see how this turns out. So Megan wrote into my test account, Business Automations with Ben. She wrote, the automation Ben provided is consistently delayed by 60 seconds each time it runs. I wouldn't recommend this service. So it hurt, even though it's fake, it hurt. So the response that the IFTTT AI prompt service wrote back was, "Hi, Megan. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We apologize for the delay you experienced with our automation service. We take your feedback seriously, and we are actively working to resolve this issue. Please reach out to us and I've covered up my email address so we can.
It was a fake email address.
Yes, so we can discuss a solution together. Business Automations with Ben team."
That's awesome. That was all written by AI.
All written by AI. Yes.
I think it looks great.
It looks great, and people want to be heard, right?
Oh, totally.
They want to know that someone's reaching out.
If they're leaving a 1-star review, they're angry, and you're right. They just want to be acknowledged, So, and they want the business owner to see that review. So that's why it's so bad. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. So you were able to kind of respond to her, acknowledge her, and it happened really quick and automated. So kind of, when the iron's hot, you're able to kind of
Yeah,
appease
I
that
think when people
situation.
are, right after their experience, or at least I've always felt this way, is like, if I had a real bad restaurant experience, like that first 10 minutes, I'm heated, right? And
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
ready to
totally.
write a review. And I never press send, but I've written a few, right? I've written a
Yeah.
few, and then I'm like, before I send, I'm just like, nah, just delete it. And then the next day, I'm like, okay, maybe the restaurant staff was having a bad night. I'll give them
Yep.
another try. But I think this is a great way to respond in the moment, give them an outlet to, get out their frustrations and let them know, hey, we hear you. Let's figure something out together, right? And I think you can make long-term customers with automations like this. Like
Yep.
you can really, make people happy that you're listening to them and make them feel a part of the experience, feel a part of the solution. It's good feedback.
Hmm.
So, all right. I think Trip, you snuck in one more on me.
Yeah, so this is I would say an applet in Trips IFT graveyard. I This was one of the first applets I ever started on IFT, and I loved it. I had it running for a few years, and my wife, she was my girlfriend for a little bit. Started dating, then we got married, and she told me to turn this off. So what the applet does is, if I miss any phone call, it's all runs on Android. If I miss a phone call, then it sends a text message. All right. And I'm not answering any phone calls. All right. It's 2023. If you want to get in contact with me, you can email me or you can send me a text message. Phone calls have always been like telemarketers or spam. Like no one ever just calls me anymore. So if someone is calling me personally, then they can just text me. Like I'll get to it a little bit quicker if they text me. But my wife now made me turn this off because she told me if she's calling me, it's important and she wants me to pick up the phone. So it's been paused in my applet queue for a couple years now. I just want to share it with you guys. If y'all have Android phones, maybe y'all can take the torch and keep running with this one. I know it's not business related, but it's a personal communication
Communication,
applet.
yeah. I'll
Yeah, that
allow
I
it.
loved for years. Yeah. So and really quick, Jeff threw a question in here. Are webhooks still the best way to bridge the gap if an integration doesn't yet exist? Yeah, I would say
Yes.
right now, webhooks are the best way. Just kind of connecting some API integrations on your own using webhooks. And then always
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead. I was
feel
just gonna
free to
say,
like send us any like integration, wants and needs, and we'll kind of push that to the team, and we'll try and start building those internally. So,
I was gonna say, maybe a webhooks live stream in the future,
oh, that's a good
right?
idea.
Show people how to
Yeah,
use webhooks.
yeah.
I
No, I
feel
think
like and I'm still not a pro at using webhooks, but when I first learned how to use webhooks, I felt like I had gained a superpower.
yeah. Oh,
So
totally.
yeah,
Well, people used to, our Twitch streamer audience used to, through webhooks, like automate their whenever they go live on Twitch, send it to their Discord audience, and we saw that so much that we just built that internally. So now we've got a Twitch account service and we've got a Discord service on inside of IFT that you can just kind of use automatically. But yeah, if you maybe let's do a webhooks service in the
yeah,
future.
maybe, yeah, of course. All
Hmm.
right,
That's a great
all right.
idea.
So let's see. Let's get to questions. So we've already had some really good questions. Trip, do we have? I think we got time for a
This
few
one's,
more.
are you automating the answers in this chat with AI? Thanks, Crystal.
No,
No, that's
we're
an
not.
actual
That's
human.
actually a
Yeah.
human.
It's not us, it's someone on our team. But yeah, thanks for yeah, responding to that. That's great. All right. So other questions. Keep going. All right. Is this being recorded by Kendall? Yes, it is. So
Yes.
the link that you see above, if you just come back to this link later, it will stay on YouTube for as long as the internet exists.
Yeah,
So
if you go to the if channel on YouTube and there's playlists, there's shorts, right? And then there's like a section that says lives or live, and there's a, I don't know, there's an archive of 30 something lives that we've done in the past. Ben and Trip are AI avatars.
We are robots. All right. The people you see are made up. We're just figments, you know? No, this is great. Let me see. I'm going to keep kind of going up the chat to see if there's any other questions. Feel free, if you have any questions, throw them in here. Let me see. Yeah, so this one, there's already Android SMS applet, which could send messages to customers. Is there something similar to iPhone? So not necessarily, we don't have like an iPhone service, but I'm going to throw this one in. For iOS, you could use iOS shortcuts and if together to integrate tracking or kick things off, or one of the other messaging tools. So if you're using, Telegram to like communicate with your customers, then you can use kind of iOS and IFT inside of that to like message your customers through Telegram. There's also a WhatsApp. What's that?
Sorry, I was just going to say click send SMS. Click send SMS is a really good service for texting your customers and automating that on IFT. So check out click send SMS.
Click send SMS. And then if your customers like are on WhatsApp, we have a really good third party. It's not WhatsApp specifically, but it's like something built on top of WhatsApp for e-commerce. So if you like buy and sell through WhatsApp a lot, you want to communicate with your customers and build an audience on WhatsApp, there's a really good third party integration.
It's called Spoki.
Spoki, yeah.
Spoki.
Spoki.
Ki, yes.
Yep. So, Crystal, deep fake. Yeah, no, we're fake up here. Kendall's asking, what are the most popular ifs? So if this, then that. Then we actually responded already. So top applets of 2023, those are the ones that are the most people are using this past year. So we're actually producing a lot of content to kind of round out the year of do top services that were produced this past year, top applets this past year. If you are subscribed to our marketing newsletter, you're going to start getting some of those emails over the next couple of weeks. So just be on the lookout for it. But yeah, Google top applets 2023, and we've got that content. So
awesome. Yeah, and thank you to I believe our teammates Jenna and Rob for being in the chat and helping out with some of these questions. Awesome. Yeah. Trip, do we have one more? We got time for one more.
Yeah, so Jeff, if I want to automate certain posts to a Discord server that I belong to, do I need any server admin authorization of IFT?
So you need to have permission to post in that Discord, I believe. And then you would need to, I guess you need to authenticate your Discord account with IFT. I think I'm answering that right.
Yeah, no, I think like if you're just in a community, you can automate what your user posts inside of that community with our Discord channel. So yeah, I wouldn't worry. I think depending on what you're trying to do with Discord, if you're just trying to post messages like you're posting a tweet or just a short message like in Slack, then all you need is authenticate your Discord user identity, and then you can post with that.
Awesome. All right. So Trip, we are on to our final section of giving away 1 free year of IFT Pro Plus. Trip, I'm going to call an audible today, and it's probably going to get me in trouble with the boss. I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to give away not to one guest. We're going to give away 2 free years of IFT Pro Plus.
Let's go.
All
okay.
Right?
Who are you feeling? You're feeling pretty good.
I'm going to pick one, and you're going to pick one. So you go first.
Okay. All right. So I am throwing Crystal. You've got some really good questions. Feel free to email us at marketing@IFT, and then you're going to get a free year of Pro Plus. And then also, yeah, we'd love to kind of help you set up some of those automations for your business. I think that's a really good use case, and we'd love to, see what pieces that we can kind of automate with you together. So feel free to email us. And yeah, we'd love to kind of help you set that up. And I will answer this question really quick. So, what are some creative ways to alert yourself or other people if something pops up on Google Calendar or text messaging? So, we've got a Google Calendar integration that you can set up a notification on your phone. So, we've got really good iOS and Android notification apps. So, like, let's say you have a calendar event coming up, you can notify yourself on your phone like right before that calendar event occurs, or if it just gets added saying, hey, this new calendar event was added to your calendar and XYZ. But we can talk about that once we start automating your other stuff. But love the questions. Happy free year of IF Pro Plus.
Yes, please, Crystal, email us at marketing@if.com. If you're emailing us from a different email address, let us know which email address you use for your IFT account.
Yeah.
And the same goes for our man, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. I am Jeff Cohen.
Yes.
Let's go. All right. So email us at marketing@IFT. Jeff, we'd love to give you a free year of Pro Plus.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. And we'll see you. I believe we're coming back. So we've got a week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then I think we're not going to do it the week after that, but I think it's like the 7th, December 7th, I believe, December 8th.
Yeah.
That for whatever that Friday is, we'll be back doing this again. So we look forward to seeing you all there at our next live stream.
Real quick, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? What are you super excited about?
Yeah, man, I love some good like mashed potatoes with gravy, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big mashed potatoes and then like stuffing. I don't know if you call it
honey
stuffing
ham.
or dressing.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped. Put gravy on everything. I'm all
everything. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Happy holidays. See you guys in a couple weeks. Thanks.